What's up, everybody? John Eric Poli here with My MMA News, and today's guest may have been on the losing end of a split decision over the weekend here at UFC Vegas 77, but he put on such a great performance, picked up a lot of fans along the way for the gutsy short notice performance, joined today by Bassil Hafez. Bassil, thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate the time. Like I said there in the intro, man, what a great performance, man. I'm sure even though you came up on the losing end, you got to be very proud of yourself for that.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the time. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I definitely am happy with my performance. I mean, I showed my heart, my grit. I definitely could have done some things differently and, done more damage in some positions than I had. I definitely was thinking a little too much about my cardio to make sure that I would be able to. I mean, I've never been finished. I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't be cardio an issue if we're going to the third round. But obviously, I ended up gassing. Short notice, man, weight cut, a lot of weight in 4 days. It's kind of tough with not really a camp. So it definitely wasn't the best outing, I would say, but I showed my heart, I showed my grit, and I earned my spot in the UFC. I earned my position, and I'm excited, from now on to have proper weight cuts at full camps and, just to really level up even the next fight to show that what is already out there is not really truly what I'm capable of.
All right, man, so we have a lot to break down here with this fight. I guess we'll start here with the beginning here with everything. So Jack, I'm sure as everybody remembers, he was supposed to be fighting at UFC 290. His opponent pulls out last minute. Originally, they wanted to get him on that card. That didn't happen. So they get him on this past weekend's card, UFC Vegas 77. Still need an opponent. Eventually, you're the guy that gets the phone call, steps up on short notice. Just describe the process here to everybody about how you found out you were going to be in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, I heard the opponent pull out issue initially with Sean Brady, and I was really happy about that. I thought I was going to get the shot then. Ended up his team or someone ended up picking Josiah Harrell. He got the opportunity. Then that issue happened with, his medicals. And I still kind of thought I would get it. But at that point, I might have thought maybe it's not going to happen because I think my name's been out there. And I was like, I said yes to everyone. I already said yes to several pullouts that happened earlier, about a couple months earlier. And so I've been ready, sitting ready, kind of flowing in camp, the ebb and flows of camp, waiting. And when this happened, I was ready. I got the call Monday night. And I was like, ecstatic. First time I had tears of joy, actually crying from happiness. And I mentioned that, previously in a couple of interviews. Like it's a crazy feeling, and I was, happy. I definitely maybe treated it more like I belonged there, and just like it was business, and didn't really get to sit there and really truly embrace the situation, the moment, and realize I'm in the UFC. I'm where I've dreamt of being my whole life. My goal to be my final company where I'll retire from. Make a bunch of money and retire from. That's my goal. So it's a crazy feeling now to sit back and look at the past week, and it's a dream come true. But yeah, it was crazy Monday night getting that call.
And I know you mentioned there, right, you were kind of in and out of the gym trying to stay ready for if something like this did come up. Just how confident were you when that phone call came in? Like, all right, I know I didn't have the proper camp like you would ideally like to have and like you want to, like you mentioned, you want to have here in the future. But how confident were you that you could come in on the short notice like that and take care of business and put on the performance ultimately like that you did?
Yeah, I mean, I was super confident. My coaches knew, and I believed it already. I already knew who Jack was. I was a fan of him as a fighter. Not gonna lie, he has really good boxing and really good striking style. I think he's one of the best strikers in the welterweight division. Definitely one of the toughest guys that I've faced in my career. And so to me, it was honestly a dream come true at that time because I like fighting guys that I think are good fighters. Like I'm what was I saying? It's unlike popular belief and contrary to what actually people think and say they want to do. Like when I get an opportunity, it pays right and everything's right, or the opportunity's right, whatever it may be. Like, yeah, I want to fight the toughest motherfucker in the room. Who's the toughest guy in the room? Like, yeah, let's go. I think I'm that. Like, you think you're that? Let's see who that is. That's what fighting really is. So, yeah, I was super confident. I truly believe that with a proper camp, I can beat Jack. Like, I'm not scared of a rematch. I want that rematch. Like, some people are like, oh, I fought this guy. I can move on. Like, I don't give a shit. But I can get it again. Like, either way, it'd be cool to train with him and spar with him, get some training in, or it'd be cool to fight him again one day, depending on how things go. This is the fight game, and we're all, just trying to fucking prove ourselves. And at the end of the day, I'm happy I proved myself on Saturday, but I definitely have a lot more to show. And I feel like some people are saying some things are sloppy, and I agree. I believe that wasn't my best performance. That was the performance I needed to put out on my debut. And, I'm going to continue to try and improve. And, next fight's going to be totally different. I'm going to continue to try to put out wars and finish. And, I want to get a bonus every fight if I can.
And I know you mentioned about things maybe being sloppy, about not having that full camp and all that. We're going to get into more about that stuff here just a little bit. Just one more thing before we kind of get into some more fight specifics. I just wanted to ask you about the fact this was your first UFC fight week. Just how did you enjoy that experience of the first UFC fight week with the poster signings, the media day? Obviously, weight cut kind of sucks, especially on short notice, but I'm sure probably an experience you have to be very happy that you got to experience it.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Everything, I can't complain at all. I would say, like, if maybe some people, I don't know how it is with other management groups, but I have a great management group, and they definitely made everything easy. They handled all the organizing of the medicals and the UFC obligations so that I didn't have to make a mistake and be late or disrespect someone's time. So to me, like, the process was just easy. It was a dream come true. Everything I did, I was happy to do. It's like, I'm a fan of the UFC. I want to be in the UFC, and now I'm in the UFC. It's like, I know I kind of had an idea about the process. I had teammates that have fought, and it's like, if you say you want to be a UFC fighter, or it's your dream, or you want to be at the top level, you have to be able to accept the media obligations and all the things they need to be able to make this run smoothly, so that you can come off as good as you come off. And at the end of the day, like, that's just something that's part of the game. And it's like, I'm appreciative of all that. It's not too much for me. Training is hard. Going and doing, 5, 7 rounds, 8 rounds on a sparring day when you're exhausted and you're depleted in camp, and it's the last bit, and you have to make sure that you're still on point. And the guy across from you is a different point of camp, and he's hungry too. Like, that shit's hard. Going out in the fight, doing all the media obligations, like, I'm not complaining, because usually it's a time where I'm trying to relax anyway.
Gotcha, man. Let's start now talking about this performance here. We'll go, I guess, round by round. Let's start with that opening round. You come out right out of the gate. You secure that early takedown. Then he's obviously able to work his way back up. You have a lot of success on the feet that really surprised a lot of people. You were able to touch him with some shots, secure 2 more takedowns in that round. Was that the game plan coming in? Not only just, number one, take him down, but to come out fast, to come out heavy the way that you did?
Yeah, I mean, that was the game plan. It was. I'm not going to say I'm a slow starter or a fast starter, but I like to kind of take my own pace and see how the fight unfolds, really, to truly fight how I want. But that was a game plan that we came up with, and that my coach saw would work to be able to get him tired and to be able to really test the waters. And I followed the game plan. I took it to him literally off the bell. That was the game plan, and I did it. Next fight might be a different game plan. Who knows? I'm capable of literally any game plan. We want to devise a game plan in that cage, like GSP mentality. I want to do everything. So whatever it is, okay, we're going to pick that. We're going to do that this part of the fight. And me as a fighter, I want to be able to prove that I can efficiently be able to take a game plan and execute that. That's how we win fights. I thought I won the fight on the rule set of MMA. I thought I won the fight. I'm not arguing. I could have done more damage for sure. But that's my thought. I think it's a lot of other thoughts too. The sentiment's kind of there, not just me. It's in the fight community. But regardless, that doesn't change what happened. What happened happened. I can't complain about it. All I can do is make sure next time I don't leave it to the judges, or that I make it irrefutable. And so that's my goal.
Gotcha. So now I do want to ask you now here about a little bit more of the fight. I want to ask you with the second round, because this round, just to paint the picture here for you, me and my father were out at the bar Saturday night, and we usually always have a TV on with the UFC fights on, and typically we're the only ones that are watching the fights. Now, when your fight comes on, that second round especially, everybody turned their eyes on. Someone's like, whoa, what's going on? Look at the action here. Wow, these guys are really going at it. That round was like the round that fans want to see. That's a lot of action, a lot of fun. So much, the heavy shots that were landed, a takedown in the mix. Literally was a fantastic round that everybody in the bar watching, and everybody tuned in then for the third round, obviously. Just take us through that round, the action that was in it, and how you were feeling during that round.
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously feeling a little more flow and a little more ability to kind of have more fun and do what I want. Yeah, it was good, man. It was a good round. Like I said, I want to put on a show for the fans. At the end of the day, it's about fighting, and fighting isn't just we're in mixed martial arts. I want to do boxing, then I'm just go box. But we're in a mixed martial arts fight. The goal is to make all the martial arts look good, not just one of them and not just two of them. And so I'm happy with the performance I put out. Fans can expect that every single time I fight. It happened in, first round, second round, third round. I gassed out, obviously, because of the situation. My goal is that I want to be held accountable. Obviously, I kind of expected, and it's a little bit. Anyone that understands the science of fighting, the sweet science of weight cutting, you're not going to be 100% in the third round with a war against a ranked opponent on your debut in a 4-day notice fight. But I showed my heart, I showed my grit, and I'm hard to finish. And that's probably the worst you're going to see me in the cage from here on out. And from here on out, I'm going to be in shape. And I'm ready to go fight night. So it's going to be even harder to finish me. And I just showed with one of the top 15 fighters in the world that I come out of nowhere and I'm ready to go. So imagine when I'm ready to go. That's all I'm going to say.
And I say, I know earlier on you had mentioned about kind of being in the gym, trying to be ready just in case something happened, but obviously you don't know if anything happened. Like, it's not the ideal situation that somebody wants to be in, not having that full training camp. I know you're talking about, gassing out in that third round. How much of that was just because you didn't have that full training camp to know, okay, I'm fighting on this day at this time, everything that goes into a full training camp there?
Sorry, drop something here.
Oh, good, man.
Get used to the ring light so you could have a good video here. No, yeah. I think that was a lot of it. I think it's a 2-factor thing. It's a game plan mixed with also my weight cut, quality of your weight cut. Like, that's all one thing. And then also, the preparation, how much time I had to really stretch my lungs out and get myself ready. I trained at elevation, but I was kind of, I would say, what you would be mid fight camp, not full at the end of fight camp. And, at a high level like that against a guy who probably will be fighting for the title or competing for the title contention soon. I think, I didn't do half bad. And some people might say I did great, but I'm very modest in myself and I'm humble. But look, I definitely, I admit it. I gassed out in the third round. I think it's kind of obvious. And that's me gassed out. And, I don't plan on going at any fights gassed out. That's the worst you're going to see me right there. And I'm excited going forward to show that even if I do get gassed out, you're not going to see quitting me regardless. You got to really kill me in there. Sean Strickland mentality.
Sean Strickland has definitely a mentality like that's for sure, and obviously we can tell you do as well there. Okay, I do want to ask one more, I guess, real fight-specific question with this fight, because we kind of got through everything with it, except for the ending here. Obviously, announcing the decision afterwards, it's going to be a split decision. What kind of goes through your mind in that moment in time?
I understood it. It's a fight game. I've watched enough fights to understand what judge looks at what and what judge comes in that day. It really depends on who's watching the fight. I thought I won. A lot of people thought I won. The judges didn't think I won. The judges at the end of the day are the decider, the factor. And so, look, I understood it. I understood where their point of view was and how they saw it. I still thought I won based off the rule set of MMA, but that's fine. I didn't go my way that night. It's not the end of the world. This is life. We have ups and downs. No one is undefeated in life. And I don't care if you believe you are, you're undefeated. You're defeated in something else. Everyone loses at some point. I lost again, and I don't like to lose. And so it's a big motivator. It's a heavier motivator than if I won. But, I thought I won the fight. And you can see, actually, if you watch the footage, I'm banging my head against the cage, kind of pissed. Afterwards, you see, if you look at the corner of the camera, I was pissed. Like, in the moment, I was really pissed. Like, I really thought I won. It's not just like, oh, I'm happy to be here. No, I'm here to fucking kick the door down and to show that I'm going for the title as well, not just to be part. I'm here, like Connor said, take over, And so that's legit. I want to do it. And I hold myself accountable for that fight, and I know I could do better. That's it. It's really that simple. And I just need to show that in my next fight.
And I know, obviously, right, the emotions are there. You really wanted to win. You really wanted to get that win, as we could tell just the way you're answering questions and everything here today. One thing that I will say was cool, even though those emotions were there, that you and Jack, great show of sportsmanship afterwards. You guys taking the photos together, really, tipping the hat to one another there. Just talk about that, just the respect that you had for Jack and everything afterwards, even though, because believe me, you losing a split decision, you could have went the complete opposite way and been pissed off and could have animosity towards him. Obviously, you guys pretty cool afterwards there.
Yeah, dude, at the end of the day, he's got a kid. I don't even have a kid. I got my dog. But, we all have mouths to feed, and including our own. So, yeah, I can't hate it. He's not the judge, obviously, and he's the judge. And if I'm the judge, I'm going to say I won. He's going to say he won. He was actually pretty modest. He was pretty modest about the win. And you can see that he showed that he thought he lost, a couple times. He mentioned it in post-fight. his facial expression, his energy, literally when the decision got announced, that's everything. I mean, but at the same time, he won. He got his hand raised. The judges said he won, and he embraced it afterwards. Look, this is a sport. We're all chasing the same goal. We're all trying to kill each other for the same goal. And so I already respected him as a fighter beforehand. So why would I not respect him? We had a war. He landed some of his like hardest shots. I showed I ate that, and I was right back at him and ready to go, even tired. And so I can't not respect the guy for that. He respected me too. It wasn't like afterwards he started talking shit and it was a problem. If it was different, if he had a different energy afterwards, then maybe I wouldn't have the energy. But you can't someone be humble and then meet that with cockiness. And if someone's humble, is two men humble. At the end of the day, we're chasing the same goal, and we have families and everything. And look, we're trying to kill each other for the company and for the fans.
All right, so I have one more fight-specific question, then I'm going to shift gears a little bit outside of the cage here. So I guess the obvious question now, you're in the UFC, obviously debut is on short notice and everything. Full training camps are going to be coming up here for you, but what is the layout, I guess, for the rest of the year? What is next for you, the way you want to see things pan out?
Yeah, whatever happens, man. I see what my management finds and what matchups come out. I can't, like I mentioned before, I would love to be vaulted into I felt a top 15 guy, not just because of a contract opportunity, as well as I believe I deserve to be there. So if the UFC was like, hey, we're going to skip the whole middle period, we're just going to cut it here, you're going to be vaulted into these tough fights, and you're going to be paid like it, then I'd be like, 100%, let's go. Like, no hesitation. I have no fear of that whatsoever. I know my value, and the thing is, I believe I could be that right now. It's not going to happen. That's not the way the contracts work. I have to fight out my contract, and I have to fight, the right matchups right now. So we'll see what happens for the next couple of fights. But, the fight game is a contract game as well, and you have to make sure that you're making enough to be able to live and put into the fight camp so you can continue improving, that Tom Brady mentality. Be able to put money into your camps and put money into your recovery and everything you're doing so that you're the finest athlete out there. And it comes with your career, and so I have to just build that up. We'll see what happens.
Now we're going to go outside the cage here to wrap things up today. If I'm not mistaken, I know you're Colorado right now, but not always, right? You're a Keystone State guy, Philadelphia, correct?
Oh, yeah, man. Philadelphia.
All right.
Eagles, too. I see the Packers in the background, and then what's going on? You got Yankees, you got Packers.
Yeah.
Is that Seattle up there?
It is. Okay, so Seattle, my cousin plays in the Seattle Crack, and that's why I have the Seattle stuff. Yes, Packers fan, Yankees fan, but I am actually from Pennsylvania. I'm Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're a Scranton guy. Oh, are you a fan of The Office? Tell me you're a fan of The Office.
Believe it or not, I have not watched it. I've seen bits and pieces every once in a while on Comedy Central. I know.
Come on, you got to watch it. It's a great show. I love it.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because my one roommate from college, we went to Lock Haven together. He came up, he lives in the Lancaster area. He wanted to drive up here just to see the different spots from The Office. I'm like, there's really nothing going on here in Scranton. But yeah, sure, come up.
Like what people don't realize is like that when they film shows, it's like literally the whole inside of anything you see is never where it actually is.
Exactly.
They show you the walk up from an outside, and the inside is in a garage in someone's basement. It's not the same. Like that was a setup on some kind of So you're just looking at a building basically.
Yeah, exactly. They'll throw names out of places that do exist, but it's not actually anything like it looks like on the show at all there. But
you got to watch it. I recommend it.
All right, it is on my list. It is on my list of things to watch. That's definitely for sure. But I was going to ask, do you come back to Pennsylvania at all ever? You mostly just had a Colorado now.
No, yeah. I mean, I moved out here about 2 years ago, so I do go back and visit. I actually plan to go back soon, probably in the next 2-3 weeks, because it's like right after the fight, I can eat and enjoy myself a little bit. So I'll be back in 2-3 weeks probably to visit family and friends.
Now, do you have a favorite cheesesteak place?
Yeah, of course. Well, I got a few, but so my brother has a pizza shop. He makes cheesesteaks as well. His food's amazing. He was actually rated by Dave Portnoy. And Portnoy gave him a modest score, in my opinion. It should have been a higher score. But, he ate, he always gives a lower score for this if he ate second or third time that day. Pizza, I think, personally, from after watching his review. But Westchester Pizza Cafe. Really good cheesesteaks, really good pizza. If you're in, like, Delaware County area, like closer in the city, Delco Steaks. You got to hit up Delco Steaks for sure. And then Angelo's is pretty good. You can't hate on Angelo's.
So you're really throwing everybody for a loop without doing the signature Pat and Geno's there.
No, man, that's not the good stuff. I'm sorry. Look,
I
come
agree.
on.
I agree.
That's
I
like in
agree.
America. That's like someone coming to America and saying, "I'm going to get a classic American cheeseburger. I'm going to go to McDonald's." You're like, "Yeah, good luck with that." It's like, it's not the best burger. It's a good burger. If you're, 2 a.m., tired, hungry, whatever it is, it's a classic burger if you get it fresh, but it's not the best burger around. Nowhere near. Same thing with Pats and Geno's, in my opinion. They might hate me. I might get some flack for this, but like, I don't know. But a true cheesesteak you should want to eat more of, not like eat half and go, okay, I think I'm gonna explode.
Hey, I'm picking up everything that you're putting down there. That's for sure. But one other thing, though, with Philadelphia and everything, I just be the last thing before we wrap things up here today. Pretty cool story. It's up online right now at UFC.com. They did a fantastic article about you and your parents and everything going on there. I'll let you tell the story. It's your story there. Kind of tell the fans out there, just in case they may not have scrolled across that article, what it's about. It's a very touching piece that they did.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Thomas Strabowski really did amazing job on that article, and really like told a true story of how my childhood was and growing up, and even getting to the UFC now. So definitely go on UFC.com, look at the article. It tells a story about my childhood, like my reason why I fight, my parents, everything. Really, he did a great job telling a story, and I'm thankful for that for sure. It's a great article though on UFC.com.
Awesome, man. Thanks again for doing this today. Last thing before you head out, social media management, sponsorships, anybody you got to give shout outs to? Floor is yours, man. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a list of sponsors right now, but I got my main guys. But definitely check me out on Instagram, Basil_Badre. Definitely Bassil Bedr, if you speak Arabic, on Instagram. Check me out there. I have a lot of sponsors that I work with, but I want to thank Place of Peace, BJJ, Sheath Underwear. I want to thank My Fit Foods, Millions.co. And, I want to thank UFC for giving me an opportunity this weekend, and all the fans for the support. And then you for this interview. Thank you.